Hey there, friends. It's Ken Sisson with Coldwell Banker Realty. And what we're going to do today is we're going to break out the Studio City market update or market interpretation, to be more aptly put. So I'm going to go through and tell you a little bit about what's going on in the current market, current local market for the neighborhood of Studio City. And beyond that, we're going to go through some real data on the MLS, which is going to be really interesting. It's going to give you a real idea of what's going on. So I'm going to start getting the computer ready here. Something really interesting is happening right now in the Studio City neighborhood, in the local market. And so if you're just looking at surface numbers, you're going to see that it looks like the market's slow. And the reason for that is because the news and the data really always shows what happened, not what's happening right now. So the benefit of doing something like this in a full-scale analysis is to really outline what's happening right now at this moment, which is the most important thing to determine when you're looking to make decisions, whether you're buying or selling a property. So in this update, I'm going to break down what the MLS is telling us, and then where buyers are actually active right now. And then I'll show you a bit of the newest, the most current listings to hit the market in the past week, past 3 or 4 days. Actually is some good stuff. So let's get going here. All right, so right now we have 101 active listings in Studio City. As you can see, I've pulled up on the screen here. And they range in value from, there's a couple of them less than $1 million, and they go all the way up to, if I even click off here, the coming soon properties. There's one we have that shows up coming soon. There it is, for 12 million. And as we go through here, we can see that in the past 3 months, since January 11th, today's April 11th, 2026. So since January 11th, right, the past 3 months, there's been 61 listings that have sold. Active and under contract and pending. So these are properties that are in escrow. So we have 17 under contract currently and 12 that are pending sale. And pending sale basically means that contingencies have been removed and they're getting ready to close the transaction. So altogether, in escrow right now, you have 29 properties, nearly half of what sold in the prior 3 months from January. Now, the prior 3 months here of closings that we've seen really reflect some of the slowest months that we've seen in the local market in quite a while. So that's what I mean. Like, if you look at what happened, it would kind of point you in the direction that the market's really slow now. But if you look at what's happening, basically these under contract and pending sales that are in escrow, we have 29 of those combined, 17 under contract. That's the most recent. And then 12 that are pending sale. So 29, it really leads you to there's just over 3 months of inventory on the market, versus if you were just looking at the sold transactions, it would tell you that there's actually 5 months on the market. And it's, leaning more towards a balanced market or a buyer's market versus still being in a seller's market as of where we are today. This has been a development probably over the past 3 weeks that we've seen the market really spring into action here for the spring selling season. So this is really important stuff to note. So the median active price for these listings that are active right now is $2.65 million. as a list price. And the median sold price for these 61 listings that closed escrow between January 11th and yesterday is 2.05 million. So we do have a little bit of a disconnect there. And, from listed price to sold price, the homes in escrow are sitting at a median price of around 2.15 million. So that's not uncommon to see, but there is a little bit of a disconnect there, and we're going to have to see how that translates into sold price versus list price. Right now, that's actually been running pretty steady. It's not, people are not taking a large deduction off of their list price on these sold properties. What we are seeing is that the lower price properties are selling more than the higher price properties and quicker. So that gap is where there is an opportunity, but not to get confused that people are taking $500,000 haircuts off the list price to get the home sold. We are not seeing that happen. But where it gets more interesting, if you just look at the active listings that are sitting on the market, those are certainly opportunities to get in there and maybe offer a slightly lower price on an offer and get it accepted. Most of the buyer activity right now we're seeing is happening just under the $2 million level. That's where homes are moving the fastest. And that's where you're going to see stronger competition, obviously. There's a lot more buyers that are out there in the local market for Studio City under the $2 million level, or between the $1 and $2 million level than there are as you go to the higher price points. So once you get into the $2 to $3 million range, inventory is heavier. It's definitely built up more. And while homes are still selling, they do need to be priced correctly. And then once you get over the $4 million range, things slow down significantly. So homes are sitting longer days on the market. Maybe there's a little more hesitation. I wrote an interesting article last year about the luxury market. So as you get above the $5 million range, certainly over a $10 million range in other areas local to Los Angeles here, there's a very interesting disconnect between the luxury market itself and the normalized market for real estate in the area. So we're not seeing a slow market per se. Market's picked up considerably. And like I said, in the past 3 weeks, we are seeing a very, very segmented market though. And the reason this matters is because, the headline numbers like days on market, and overall inventory, it's actually lagging behind what we're seeing happening right now at this very moment. So, instead of just talking about it, let me show you what some of this stuff looks like right now. We'll take a look at some of the pictures and some of the details of the most recent sales. Whoops, let me get out of here and go back to search criteria. We're going to eliminate the solds. We're going to eliminate the active under contract, and we're going to eliminate the pending. And then let's go in here and view listings again, and we'll sort by the lowest days out. That's already done. Fantastic. So let's take a look at the pictures or let's take a look at the full listing here for Alta Mesa. So first we're looking at 3866 Alta Mesa Drive in Studio City. It's got a list price of $2,599,000, 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, 3,219 square feet, and includes a small ADU of 345 square feet and 2,874 square feet of the main house. This, by the way, is in the private agent remarks. So let's go into some pictures here and take a look at how this house looks. So we got 51 photos online. It's a hillside property. And nice entryway here. Really clean. Nicely done. Definitely, a house like this 3,200 square foot house, 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, in the 2.5, 2.6 range of price. You're gonna have to present it very, very clean, very nicely. There's a couple of things here that, I would say, okay, it still needs to be dressed up a little bit more. One of those exterior shots caught my eye, but really, this is a nice looking house, nicely done. We're not going to go through all the pictures, but let's go on to the next one here. Listing number 3, brand new to the market, on market one day as of right now. So we have 12510 Hortense Street in Studio City. List price of $2,799,000. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 3,073 square feet. Listed here as a timeless East Coast traditional, reimagined with fresh California sensibility. 11,421 square foot lot. Let's take a look at how this house looks. This is in the flats. So it's going to be just south of the 101 and north of Ventura Boulevard. Let's take a look at how this property looks. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Again, you see it's clean. It's not cluttered. Personal effects and what have you have been stripped from the house so that buyer can walk into this home and imagine what their life's going to be like there. Not what the taking a look around and being nosy and finding like what the current owners' lives are like. Very much. I don't know if it's staged. It looks like it's probably staged, and staged in such a way that prospective buyers can imagine what their lifestyle would be like. So it's very geared towards selling lifestyle. Nice pool, nice backyard. Looks private. A little oasis back there. Home gym. Yeah. So again, we're not going to go through all of the 30 pictures. Well, we almost did, actually. Let's move on to the 4th newer listing. 3712 Goodland Avenue. Kind of like right there, definitely in the canyon, it looks like here. And we are looking at a 5,892 square foot house. 5 bedrooms, 6 baths. Our price point has jumped way up here to $6,995,000. And let's take a look at some of these photos real quick. And then I do want to show you one of the newer, lower price listings. Wow, that is actually a really cool entry there. Look at that. That's like bringing nature inside. Great indoor-outdoor living feel to this house. And it's a big house. Okay, so let's go in. Let's look at the one-line report for these results here. And go down here. So here's a property that's been on the market for 4 days. And it's listed under $1,749,000. We'll take a look at what this looks like. So it's an 865 square foot house, right? 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. It does disclose that the advertised square footage is taken off from a previous listing of the property. The lot size is very, very small. I mean, this is what you would expect for a $749,000 listing in Studio City. And it's got 29 photos, so let's take a look at that. Wow, it is nicely done. I mean, this is a great condo alternative, honestly. Obviously, I don't know the condition of the house at all. We do rely on property inspectors, but this is nicely freshened up. A very small house, obviously, in Studio City. Great condo alternative. This is going to get a lot of attention just because of where it's located. Fantastic condo alternative, but not having not having HOA fees, right? So it's a single family home, albeit a very small one on a small lot, you're not seeing any homeowners association fees here. So those have been going up considerably. So this is a true, first time home buyer opportunity in Studio City. And it states in the Carpenter Community Charter School District on Woodbridge here, so just north of Valley Heart. Very cool, very cool. This I was expecting to see like a total fixer, on that house, and this has just been on the market here for 4 days. So did not have the opportunity to see this on the Friday broker caravan myself, but it is open house tomorrow, April 12th. Depending on when this video posts, it might be today, April 12th, from 2 to 5 p.m. So if you're a first-time home buyer looking in Studio City, definitely check this one out at 12063 Woodbridge Street. So, as far as when you're putting this all together, it's really important to realize the Studio City market is not slow right now. It was in December and it was in January, February, but things have kicked up quite a bit here as we've crossed into the month of April and closed out the month of March. It's also important to note that when you talk about the market, there's so many different segments of the market here, even in a neighborhood like Studio City, that, you kind of have to break it out to listings from 1 million to 2 million, 2 million to 3 million, 3 million to 4 million. It's all available. So, there's going to be differences and distinction between the different segments of the Studio City market. So if you'd like any more information, please go ahead and reach out to me. I think I failed to mention this at the beginning of the video, but if you're still sticking around here to the end, certainly like and subscribe. It's really helpful as far as getting found. And would love to really drill down on specifics for you if there's a specific segment of the market or property type that you in particular are interested in. And it would be a pleasure to break that out for you and give you all the details. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll look forward to next time. I look forward to doing different neighborhood updates, on a monthly basis here, possibly even every couple of weeks. So we'll be tuning in again and joining you then. Have a great day.